Happy 2014, Fajos. Hopefully you had a good time with the fam because your gaming is terrible. Anyways, today these retards are going to be talking about getting drunk on New Year's, and they're going to talk about the state of some sort of video game, blah, 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 nerd crap. So enjoy, and hopefully you can stay awake for this bullshit.
Happy 2014 to you guys. I had a freaking crazy start to the year. What about you, Chad?
Well, it was mostly just family, but after all the late Christmas parties was pretty fun.
Well, we'll get a story time here today. We're going to be talking about my crazy sort of, I guess, just something weird that happened to me over the New Year. So we'll get into a little bit. We'll get into that later. Right now, we wanted to go over a couple different things. Obviously, LCS is coming up. We're going to be talking about that here probably next. But the first thing that we wanted to get into was just like the current state of mobile gaming, because it was something that we were discussing last night. And I mean, these phone games and these tablet games are something that are real, popular right now. And so, what exactly did you think what do you think the future of it is?
The future of mobile gaming is like wide open. I don't like to get the hardcore gamers is going to be like a trick up the developer's sleeve, but I think it's like there's so much more potential because I just feel like people would rather connect through their little mobile phone. Like, as this generation of gamers gets older and they have to go out and get money, they're going to want to play on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, and I definitely do agree with you, dude. I know that I have a very expensive phone that I actually got when I worked at a mobile phone company. I have the Note with the Samsung Note phone, and I mean there's a lot of times where I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, if I could play just like legit games on this thing, it would be great. But I guess the actual a gamer's viewpoint of mobile games is a little bit different than that of people who are sort of just like wasting time on their phones. I mean, me personally, I have a Facebook account, but if I get one more goddamn request on Candy Crush, I'm gonna fucking, dude, I'm just gonna I'm gonna write them an email and tell them to stop. Pretty much, I mean, it's so annoying. I got people sending me a request. It's like I've never experienced a game quite like it, simply because all these people, Farmville and stuff like that was prevalent in Facebook. Those are like the first games that really came out. But dude, Candy Crush is ridiculous, man.
My fiance's on there like all the time.
Yeah, well, she's like level 700 or something like that, but
yeah, she's just on her break at work. If no one's talking to her, that's what she does. Mm-hmm.
And it's that type of game. Like, it can only sustain me for about 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Me and Josh were actually talking about it yesterday. We were like, man, if they could get like some legit games on the phone, then we may take a second look. None of this fucking Angry Birds or I mean, there's really dumb games out there. Let's say we do a reboot of like maybe even some of the Super NES games or the Nintendo games. Maybe like Sega. I mean, they do have emulators, but I mean, what I think, and what a lot of these application developers, they should start doing this now, dude, because we spend a lot of money on games. Do we or do we not, Chad?
Mm-hmm.
I went
Yeah.
out and I bought a game just for nostalgic reasons. I bought Final Fantasy VIII. I played it probably a total of 10 minutes. I gave them $12 for 10 minutes. I mean, how can you lose? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, fucking $12 for 10 minutes. That's pretty much like what I think of iPhone games right now. Like they're soulless cash grabs, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like your nostalgic instance there. I mean, you're feeding the soul of Final Fantasy or whatever, but this one on Android. It's called Eternity Warriors.
Uh-huh.
It's like an MMO, and it looks like pretty much looks like one of the first PlayStation games.
Uh-huh.
It's isometric, or no, it's third person. You get gear, you beat bosses, but it's pretty fucking repetitive. You got 4 moves, and you get to chat. The social aspect of these mobile games is what will do it. Like, the game obviously has to be fun, but if you can bring people talking, people will get hooked.
Yeah.
The game's fun. You get to talk to people. You're on break. You got 10 minutes. You're gonna play it.
And you know, I definitely do agree with you. If we could add sort of like the community sort of that an online gamer feels when he plays maybe one of the online games, whether it be maybe like a shooter or MMO, that would probably add to the experience. But we're just not there yet, pretty much.
No, not yet, but I think it's getting there.
But to be honest with you, dude, I think the hardware is pretty much there. It's just the actual.
Yeah. What kind of game do you make that is 2.5 inches wide?
Uh-huh.
I mean, How do you get the controls right? How do you make it feel like a fun game to play?
Well, I've gone pretty deep into a couple different types of games. I know that. Did you ever play the Simpsons game? The one where it was like you build your own Springfield because it like exploded a fucking like atomic bomb or something like that, so you have to rebuild it. Did you ever?
No, never played that one. No.
Yeah, I played that game probably for like 3 or 4 months. I drove Carol crazy. This game, I mean, it's pretty genius. They sort of lay the game out like a lot of sort of, I guess, the real time like strategy type games that they have on mobile phones.
Yeah, I think like strategy games come back through mobile gaming. Maybe that's what I want. Maybe that's not what's going to happen, but I think strategy games will be a big hit on mobile gaming.
And that's kind of what that one is. And I played another one. I forget what it was. It was pretty much the same thing, but all these games, it's like it's less of sort of like a micro game in the sense that it's not like a league game where you go in, you have like an objective for like a 30 or 40 minute period of time. These are more like, oh, well, you got to go over here and you got to farm this and that, and then like in 8 hours, then you have to farm it again.
Touch bases. I'm here 10 minutes. I go farm. I'm gonna go back to work or go hang out with someone like that. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, those games they never really hold my attention just because I don't want to wait fucking 8 hours to be able to do something significant. I mean, it's just. There's no perfect way to approach this right now simply because it's in its infancy. But what I would really like to see is I want to see a game. I want to see you, Sega or Nintendo. I want to see you release a package of games, Sonic the Hedgehog, without having to use an emulator that's really unreliable. Because if anybody's actually played an emulator before, I used to have emulators all the time because I love old games. I mean, you name it. Funny story, I had a Nintendo. I got my Nintendo in 1988. I think it was in 91. My mom, she was like, Isaac, there's like a Super Bowl pot what I want you to, because she knew ever since I was a little kid, we're talking 5, 6, 7 years old, I have been passionate about sports. So she's like, Isaac, I need you to help me pick an over and under. I didn't know what she meant. She had to explain to me that, you know, you have to get like the scores, the combined scores. And I was like, oh, it's going to be this. And I won $300, and with that $300, I bought a Sega. And that's kind of when my love for gaming.
You earned your first game?
Yeah, from gambling.
What?
Yeah, dude.
I can't say that.
From gambling, and I had, you know, the actual, you know, I had like just the game that came with the actual system, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, and I got, you know, Alter Beast, and all these games are games that I would actually like to revisit simply because for nostalgic reasons. And I think that
as a kid, what was the longest you've ever sat down and played Sonic? Yeah, Sonic.
Hours, dude. I played Sonic for
How could
hours.
you play hours on it?
Oh, I loved it, dude. It was so challenging. Like, if you go back and you take a look at the games that were developed back then, they looked very simplistic, but they were actually really well thought out. And they
the
were
only games that I can sit there and play for hours are multiplayer games,
yeah,
and there's some competitive edge to it.
Yeah, but
Some
that didn't exist, dude.
Some kind of boss to get down. There's got to be people there on my communication.
Dude, we're talking 1991, 1992. That stuff
I know,
didn't
like
exist.
I never had them games. I played Keen on a 386. Duke Nukem, the first ones, 386. You know, like I never got those consoles.
Oh, I remember when, because I grew up with computers. We had, I think one of the first computers we had was actually a 386 as well, and then we got a 486, and then that's when like my dad started buying me games. Like I remember the first game that I ever had was a game called Arctic Fox. And what it was a fucking jet fighter. Not a jet fighter, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like a simulator.
No, dude, it was a tank game. And you fight, like, it's like these geometric shapes, and you're like fighting other tanks. And it was really cheesy. But it was like amazing. And that was probably in that was probably 89.
But anyway, like they can't, like the mobile games like that. Maybe there'll be a rerun of the 80, you know. But I think the hardware in our phones are capable of much more than that.
Yeah, they are. I actually found Arctic Fox right now. Take a look at this, people. This was the game that I spent. My dad would never let me on his computer, but whenever he did, I was playing Arctic Fox. It was released in 1986. Very simple game. We're talking, you know, I mean, this was how PC games were.
No, this is if you're an old school bastard right here. You show them this, and this will bring them back.
Let's take a look. Commander Keen.
Oh, this guy trolled me. Fucking internet troll. Oh, there it is. It's a girl.
Meet Billy Blaze, a normal 8-year-old genius.
Yeah,
Once
see.
he puts on his brother's Packers helmet,
And
he becomes Commander Keen. And
Packers helmet, huh? Anyways, yeah, I mean, games like this how hard would this be to develop? A game like this, would you purchase it? I'm sure there's thousands of people that would like to purchase a game.
I would
like
pay
that.
a buck or two.
Right. And
I mean, Angry Birds is just bizarre on how many people buy that.
And I mean, why not? Why not release something like that? You know, I mean, it's.
But I want something that I can. I have like a profile that gets saved. I try to get better. I have like a record score.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that hardcore competitive all the time. Like, I want a game like that keep track of my stats, a friends list, people that I can just jump in a game with. Like, I have a group of friends where I know their time they're gonna get on,
and I think that we're starting to see that simply because, like, the game that you play right now, the what's it called? Hearthstone?
What? Yeah, Hearthstone.
That looks like it could be mobile at some point.
Yeah, that will probably be the mobile aspect of that game will probably make it huge.
Uh-huh.
I don't plan on playing it on the big computer.
Right.
I don't need to. Like, I'll play something different. I'll play Draenor, Warlords of Draenor, and or EverQuest Next, or whatever it may be. I have no idea the outlook of 2014. It doesn't look very promising at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's really depressing. Some people speculate that new RTS games are going to come out, but we're going to have to control like 5,000, 10,000 units. Like, how the hell are they going to make that fun?
I don't know, man. I mean, that's going to be the question. I
really don't like it when they try to make the game Zerg-like or spam-like.
Yeah.
I want control. I just don't want to just Zerg this strategy and win.
This is Jet Fighter 2, by the way. This is the other game that I played when this is one of my first PC games. Arctic Fox was my first one. Jet Fighter 2 was actually my second one. And ever since I played this game, I actually wanted to become a jet fighter. It didn't really work out for me. Ended up being way too big for a cockpit. Being 6'4" and weighing, over 250 pounds.
You need to be inside a tank.
So, I mean,
even those are small things. Anyway, you remember when Warmog was OP in League of Legends?
Yeah.
And you remember how much tower diving, zerging happened?
Yeah, dude, I remember.
Like, no one likes that at all. Why do they keep, like, is that like a ploy to buy some time for development or something?
I don't know, dude. There's a lot of questionable moves that are, I mean, and these games are so simple, dude. It's just, it's ridiculous. There could be so much that these people could do, but I mean, obviously they don't ask me, and maybe there is some licensing issues with just releasing some stupid games like the ones that I just showed. Dude, Jet Fighter 2. That would be so easy to play on a
F-117, F-22 Raptor. That's what I played.
That's a
simulator games.
Yeah.
There was this. It was like War of Warplanes, the new one,
Uh-huh.
but it was less graphics, and it was like one of the first multiplayer games I played way back in the day because my uncle showed it. Oh, I could spend time on that because it was multiplayer. I could talk to people. I could fight against them. I could bomb their bases.
Why do you think that never caught on, dude? It's flight simulators. I think that has some pretty awesome potential. Could you imagine a game where all it was you jet fighting other people? How fucking... You have like a map and there'd be like, what, 40, 50 people? Could you imagine the madness, dude?
I think it caught on. It's just like to the mainstream gamer, the hardcore gamers, we like to go to the big million player games.
Dude.
Those games are like in the 10,000s, 100,000s.
Dude, do you remember...
There's still people to play with, but there's just not as many there.
Think about it this way, and I know we're getting off on a tangent, but games are kind of my passion, okay? Think about this. Let's say 10, 15 years ago. Well, let's go back. You go into a Best Buy now, what do you see? You see Naga mouses. You see all these mouses that have a whole bunch of buttons on them. You see, keyboards with a lot of different things. Do you remember, probably in the early 90s, when the centerpiece of your PC gaming experience was a joystick?
The joystick, yep.
Do you remember,
And
dude?
you would go out and buy the $80 joystick.
Yeah.
Because it had a throttle and maybe more than two, the trigger and the top button.
Yeah.
You could get a point of view.
Can you even buy a joystick anymore?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. They're the same price, pretty much.
I don't know. I'm looking around here. They're like $20. I mean,
Well, you got to go to. Are you looking at new?
I'm looking at Tiger Direct right now. They got a
It's
pretty.
just like, who flies anymore? Do you use a joystick in Battlefield 4? I don't even know.
I guess you could. Let's see. Let's see if we can find a flight
Well,
simulator.
before this patch in Battlefield 4, planes were OP. So, I mean, did you use a joystick or not? I have no idea. Did you have to?
I don't remember. Jet fighter games. Are there any?
Yeah, like World of Tanks. There's a World of Warplanes or something like that.
Dude, all these look really bad. Like all these look like really old games. That's what I want to see. I challenge you, game developers. Game developers, I want you to make me a massive online jet fighting game, and I will buy it and I will play it.
What do you want them to do? Do you want us to all the way down to the micro level, have our own bases,
Dude,
our own territories?
Dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Like, we all have our own airports, right? And we have it like an arena match. It's set up where we go to a particular location and we fucking jet fight 5 or 6 other planes. How
or bomb a fucking airport and you have to remake it. Something, that. And
how fucking sweet would that? And then you could have like a real time strategy sort of outlook on it as well, where you have to build like anti-aircraft guns and stuff. And
well, welcome. Now the show gets interesting. The professional gamer we have here, Josh Bradbury.
Dude, I had this awesome fucking idea. How did you feel when you were younger? How did you feel about like jet fighting games?
Dude, I loved them.
That's what I'm saying. And I was actually looking online right now as we're sort of doing the show, and I'm like, dude, how come there's no like massive online jet fighting games, dude?
I don't know. They did they did just put, what is it, like some sort of vehicle combat in Star Wars in the Old Republic.
But just think about it, dude.
MMO one?
Yeah, the MMO, yeah.
Dude, just think about this, dude.
Spaceship combat or something.
Like you have your flight crew or whatever, and you basically go and you take off and you just like arrange matches with people and you just fucking kill each other in the sky or something like that.
There's a game that's like that. Oh man, what is it called? It's on
World
Steam.
of Warplanes?
No, this is different. This one's on Steam. It's like a steampunk kind of game where you're in like a sort of flying vehicle and you have like a pilot, a gunner, and then like an engineer on your team and that are like in your craft. And
Wes and everyone bought?
Yeah, Wes and Andrew were playing it. And yeah, you just fly around, your gunner shoots shit down, for you. You got your pilot, and then you got your engineer running around trying to fix the damage and everything. But yeah, there's not many games like that.
I think that would be, maybe it's not something as intricate as far as having multiple people have to maintain a particular plane. But
no, I like roles.
I don't. I would hate that, dude. I'll be fucking honest with you.
Like the pilot, and
it could cause problems because when you've got multiple people who want to do the same role, then you got.
Well, this is what I say. Go back to the old like flight simulator type, setup where you have a pilot who both, attacks and flies at the same time. Because that's not a stretch. And you have like multiple planes that take off from your guys' particular airport or whatever.
For for sure. This wasn't a plane thing. This was more like a steampunk, almost like a blimp / plane thing that you flew. It was
I think we
some
should.
weird.
I want to pitch it, dude. I want to pitch it to somebody. I know a dude in one of the. He's actually. He's a programmer and he works for a gaming company or a gaming production company in like, fuck, I want to say it's like Georgia or something like Alabama or something weird like that. It's like Rebel Gaming or something like that. We worked at Sprint together and he like got his degree from DeVry or something and he ended up finding a job over there and I'm like his Facebook friend and he's always saying like how much he loves his life because he actually gets paid to make games now.
Yeah, gets paid to do something he enjoys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And well, we went way off topic, but yeah, that's what I want. Give me a massive online jet fighting game, and I'm there. I'll buy the fucking joystick.
You can have that on your phone.
No, because I mean I want like
Dude.
a
This
true
guy's all
experience.
about mobile games now.
Well, that's what we were talking about initially, and my idea, just sort of go back and give you just sort of what we were talking about, dude. Why can't Sega and all these old game developers just re-release all these games and that are not in emulator form? I mean that would make them some money, dude.
You mean re-release on like a platform or
Just on your phone, like let me go to Google
I know
Play.
Square Enix is kind of doing that. I think there's a couple Final Fantasy, like the older Super Nintendo and Nintendo Final Fantasies
That's what I'm saying, dude.
that are coming out on iPhone and
Like-
maybe Android too, I think.
Like I was playing stupidest game ever, NBA Jam. I would fucking buy that game just to waste 5 or 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you remember NBA Jam?
I do, dude.
Those guys
You
jump
used to
like
think it
30 feet in the air, and
Yeah, you used to think it looked so good, and now you look at it and you're just like, oh my god.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like, as our generation grows up, and the new generation gets to sit on their whatever and play the high end games, like, eventually, the responsibility, you have to only play 10 minutes on your break or whenever. You don't have as much time to be progressing on a game anymore, right? So mobile gaming will take off. Everyone likes the game, but the mobile game has to be
I
social.
know. Not mobile gaming, dude. I don't even. Don't get me started on that shit, dude.
Not mobile. Mobile.
I know what you're saying. Mobile. Yeah, I hate it. That shit's so limiting. Not fun to me at all. I
Yeah,
cannot.
it's
get into
limiting
it.
now because I think the developers are limiting.
yeah, and
Nah,
you-
just the,
yeah.
So is the fucking technology, dude. Like, there's only so much you can do with an iPhone, with the amount of buttons you have and that teeny ass screen, and just like. I just
well,
don't
that's
like it.
why. That's why I thought it
got
was
my
genius.
nuts off on a 500 megahertz computer, and these phones are already past that.
That's why I thought it
Yeah,
was genius.
but you had a whole keyboard and mouse, dude. It's the controls that bother me. I hate
Well,
the controls.
on that keyboard, I only pressed a few letters and used my
That's-
mouse.
That's why you're always a noob, dude. You gotta press more buttons.
Bro, game.
No, I was not new.
Yeah, you were.
No, I wasn't.
And that's why I said that if they could re-release like 2-button games, then they'd probably make some money.
No, it doesn't have to be 2 buttons. It just you gotta.
3 buttons,
I
Sega.
agree. Games like Final Fantasy, like the old school ones, those work really well because they're a lot slower paced too.
Click
What
to
kind of-
You can
move.
take your
League of
time to like
Legends, 6 buttons.
take your time to scroll through the menu, pick what
6 buttons,
Attacks,
League of Legends,
turn
and we're all
speed.
orgasming over it.
I would never play League of Legends on a mobile.
I wouldn't
phone.
do it either.
Ever, never.
Fuck, I would. You could do that. You could last hit.
It would not be fun. That's the thing. It would not be
You
fun.
could scan the map. Fuck.
You'd have to like have like a zoom
It'd be fucking
feature.
terrible, dude.
It would be
You would
pretty
get
bad.
destroyed by people that were on it. If you were playing with people who were actually on their computer, you would
Yeah,
just get.
cross-platform. maybe?
Hearthstone should be on your phone.
It will be.
It
Yeah,
should
that
be.
would be a
Developing
very good game
it.
on phone.
They're
It should
developing it for iPad and
Yeah.
Android, I think.
Yeah, I was sort of just sounding off on that earlier. I thought it was the games that are out now are just terrible. It's ridiculous. Like I said, Sega, What are some of the other like old like EA Sports or EA? Dude,
Yeah, and EA is still around. I mean, they still do their thing.
Yeah.
They're just a fucking terrible company.
just bring back, dude. Bring me back Super Mario Brothers on my phone. You know.
Well, that's Nintendo.
Well, I know.
Nintendo won't bring it to an iPhone because that'd be competing directly with the handheld that they already have.
So take it to the Google Play Store, dude. You know, I mean,
It won't happen, dude. Nintendo sticks to their own shit, dude.
it's ridiculous.
I don't think you'll ever see a Nintendo platform or a Nintendo game on
All
another
right.
platform.
All right, fine. Give me Mortal Kombat. Can you do that? Can you give me Mortal Kombat?
Sure, dude.
Block up. Scorpions, you know, fatality. Still no.
Noob Saibot, dude.
Yeah, well, all right. To sort of switch gears on the actual mobile gaming, net neutrality, big deal
yeah.
right now. It's actually pretty scary. I was taking a look at some of the, you know, how I guess the Supreme Court actually told the FCC that they do not have the power to, you know, mandate to these companies that they can't charge for using particular content. That's scary. That's scary for us because that means that we're going to have to probably fork out some more money to play games.
Yep.
And we're going to have to even go as far as getting particular providers just based on the deals that they make in the background on the games that on the developers, you know, content. So, Chad, I know you have a very strong opinion on it. Briefly, how can we avoid this?
What was that story?
Oh
I
my
was
God.
playing a mobile
Holy
game.
shit!
I was
Oh my
crushing
God.
little undead people in Eternity Warriors 3 because this mobile game is so fun.
Oh my
It's
god,
terrible.
that is,
You're
dude.
terrible.
That's the worst
You
excuse
gotta
that
pay
I've
attention,
ever
man.
heard.
Come on.
What the hell, dude?
This mobile game's so fun. Like, you should try it.
Dude,
Eternity Warriors.
all right,
You become
There's
bloody
like an
cat.
Iron Forge in there.
all
where
right. So
everyone goes
10
to a
o'clock
little-
on Thursday, we do this thing for like 30 minutes to an hour, where we talk about stuff. Can you join us?
No, I want to talk about net neutrality and how it's gonna fuck all games.
That's what he was just trying to
That's
talk
what
to
I
you
was just
about.
trying to talk
were
to you
like-
about.
You were like, huh?
I'm
Okay,
sorry, I was
okay.
killing undeads. It's like,
I just had this urge since we've been talking about mobile gaming. It just
Get off your shitty phone.
dude, you
dude.
can whack off later. Let's do this now.
so we all pay a pretty high subscription rate because we all like high fucking speed internet
Right.
as a gamer. We like that low ping. But what did the federal court do to us? They neutered gamers. Like literally, I don't think anything will happen anytime soon. But the potential for internet providers to neuter us even more has a high potential. Does anyone want to know why?
Let's hear it, dude.
You guys understand it? No,
Yes.
everyone's busy fucking playing the games. I get it. I wouldn't understand it either. But what the federal court did was pretty much allow internet providers. We'd have to pay the subscription line like you always do, but to go to like
Damn, is there a fucking
LeagueOfLegends.com.
echo in here or something? Jesus Christ.
what?
Nothing.
But to go to like LeagueOfLegends.com or Reddit.com, we'd have to pay like an extra few dollars just to subscribe to that address.
Yeah.
So therefore, when you send any sort of data, this is all about data capping and all about limiting information when you go in higher hierarchy. Would you like to have to pay extra to stream your video game?
Of course not.
Would you like to pay extra just because you play a high demanding bandwidth game? Well, that's what
that's what we're facing, pretty much.
That's what we're facing. That's what it could come down to. Do I think it's going to happen anytime soon? No, because that would lower customer satisfaction. We would cry foul. but they'll slowly groove us in. We'll be assimilated to it. We'll accept it.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're doing with,
And if you voted for Obama, for crying out loud, he said, "Oh, I'm all for net neutrality," because he foresaw this. He knew about this. All these fucking pigs knew about this coming to be because they've been trying to get this shit forever and ever, and they finally got it through the federal court. Make sure that president actually ponies up at least for this ideology, this idea of controlling the internet like that. Because
I don't think the president has very much to do with the Supreme Court's decision, dude.
You can Supreme Court, the federal court, the president. Okay, you got judicial, you got the president, and what else? There's one other branch. There's 3 branches. They don't work right anymore, but theoretically, old school wise, they could veto each other, and then nothing happens, which would be great for all of us. But I don't want to be paying $5 extra for.
We can't really. Obama couldn't really do that simply because it's not really his place to do that.
What? He can veto the Supreme Court? No, Jesus Christ. He's done so many goddamn... Whatever. I'm not going to get there. Okay. I'm saying he has the power, and I don't care if you think he should or not, but he has the power.
No, he doesn't, dude. But that's cool. We can move on. So, really? Net neutrality is something that we...
branches in government.
Net neutrality is definitely something that we need to take a look at.
We need to be concerned about it. As gamers, we need to start writing and talking and streaming about it.
You know who actually has been like a big somebody who's been keeping an eye on it. Even back when Athene was really popular, probably 5 or 6 years ago, dude, he always made serious videos about net neutrality. That was always something that was in his I guess vision, that it's something that
That is one of the things why I like Athene and I respect the guy, because he's so he can see far ahead, unlike lots of people.
Yeah, he was cool. I mean, he's not funny anymore. That's pretty much all he had. No, he's not funny. He's one of the biggest WoW, I guess, content makers there for a while. He held a lot of the records there for a long time. But that's enough of net neutrality. It's kind of a bummer because it's something that we are going to have to deal with. But would you guys?
One last point on it.
Oh, okay.
So say Sony buddies with Comcast and says, well, all this net neutrality went away, so I don't really my product's suffering. I'm going to give you a little bit of money, just a little trinkle of what I get. Make sure my network runs well, my PlayStation network. So all the people that have Comcast, which is weird to say, their network will run fine. Your connection will run fine. That's kind of weird for a Comcast subscriber, but what about all the other subscribers like AT&T and all that? PlayStation network probably won't run fine. It won't. It'll be more filtered. It'll be laggy, or you're just a little bit cut off. You're limited because of this.
Well, it's definitely something that we're gonna have to take a look at. It's not something that we can probably do in an hour show to discuss everything that would be, affected by it. So we'll sort of leave it at there. If you guys have any sort of questions or you want to just bullshit around with us, go ahead and you can message us either on Twitch or on YouTube, Easy Gaming LOL, or at Twitter at Easy Gaming LOL. Go ahead and tell us what you think. So, to the good stuff. New Year's. What'd you guys do for New Year's?
Got 2 people in here who probably did nothing.
I drank a lot.
Yeah.
No peeing in any toys.
I played board games.
Yeah, dude, that was epic, man. That was my my New Year's Eve. I did something that I never really do. I went to actually my parents' house. because I wanted somebody to watch my kids. But yeah, it was a very eventful night. I drank probably a full bottle of gin, and then I don't know, a whole series of stuff happened where after I drank it, I became very nice and loved everybody, and then when it was time to go to sleep, I was laughing uncontrollably. Actually, my wife, she left me at my parents' house, believe it or not. She was like, this fucker won't let me sleep, so she just took off. But she said that before she left, she woke up and saw me pissing in a basket full of toys. So, and then she said that I chilled in the bathroom for like 30 minutes after that. She had no clue what I was doing. I had a really good time. I mean, I drank a shitload. I drank pretty much anything that you can drink. I drank tequila. I drank champagne.
In the bathroom, contemplating to clean it up.
I drank beer, vodka. We had a lot of alcohol, which is something that we're not really big drinkers. But my mom, I guess my sister got married here this past weekend, and they wanted to let loose a little bit, so we decided to get a whole bunch of drink stuff and get wasted, and I succeeded. I started at about 5 p.m. and went till about 3 a.m. So it was a lot of drinking. Needless to say, I had a huge fucking headache the next day, but didn't lose my cookies. So, anybody else do anything interesting at all?
Can't tell that story.
I would be.
That's not even my
if
best
I told
story.
you what I did New Year's, no one would like me.
What'd you do?
Well, I started to drink when I started playing board games.
Okay.
Why would nobody like you?
No,
Are we
it's
board
it's
games
after
overs?
the board games. Yep.
What'd you do? You can't just say that and then.
Did
like,
you
not
punch
say
some
it.
puppies, or what'd you do, dude?
No, I just. Nope.
Did you have sex with any farm animals, dude?
Nope. I didn't have sex with farm animals. No.
You want to know something funny, dude? That
North
game,
Dakota.
Words with Friends. Yeah, it was like a pretty popular mobile game there for a while.
Yeah.
They copied Scrabble, basically, right? Well,
Right.
Words with Friends actually has a board game.
Really?
Yeah.
Board game?
They have a board game where you're basically playing Scrabble, but you're playing Words with Friends or whatever.
I did not know that.
Those guys fucking basically punched Scrabble in the nuts and laughed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm glad you played board games, dude. I love board games. I just don't play them very often because I'm like super competitive, and I have to win.
Oh, me too.
It's a lot. It's a lot like World of Warcraft. You know, like if we do arena, I don't like losing.
Yeah, that's why I can't seem to gear up any other characters because
Yeah. Last
just
night,
can't deal with losing, dude.
me and
Okay.
Josh, we did twos, right? So he's like, okay, well, I'll play on my rogue and you play on your hunter, and we'll get some points, and maybe I can get some gear. And I was like, okay. So like 5 games in, we lost every one of them. We're like, god damn.
Oh, so you guys are missing me.
Well, you don't
Yeah,
ever
dude.
get on, dude.
Yeah.
My account's frozen. The fucking stupid ass error I get.
No, you mean the one?
Stupid ass what you get?
Like they haven't fixed the error where you have to pay for the game.
What? That's not an error.
Dude, give me your gold, man.
Yeah, dude, what the hell?
Dude, that's chump change. This.
Yeah, his gold is my gold anyway, dude.
Yeah, it's all owed to Mr. Bradford. Yeah.
He doesn't have any gold.
I am living on borrowed gold.
On borrowed time, dude. I
Yeah.
own you.
You pretty much do.
Yeah, we did too. And then we actually got up, and we're not super hardcore arena guys. We went from like, I think I was like at 1450 at some point, and then we got up to like, no, I was like 1435, and then we got up to like 16 something. We did quite a few games and we won a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, after I switched characters, yeah.
So it was a pretty big jump for one night. And then we both
Yeah,
got
it was
27,000 Grievous points, so we unlocked the new vendor, which is completely useless.
No, they plan on releasing a next tier besides Grievous.
No.
Yeah, but then the season will reset. It's just going to be a new season.
But I don't think people will have that vendor yet. You will right away.
Well, we have the vendor.
Yeah.
And he sells. The funny thing about it is, like, I was looking at the bow. The bow has the same, like, I guess attack or whatever, but it doesn't have the stats on it. So it's kind of weird. I don't know.
It has the same top end, but doesn't have stats.
Yeah. I think it's just for a transmog. But it's, I don't know. It didn't make sense to me. Why not just make a new tier? Make it a little bit better.
Speaking of WoW, so did you guys know Ghostcrawler also helped lead design Age of Empires 3?
I never played that game.
That's one of the
Me
top
neither.
RTS games of all time.
I was playing.
What?
I was playing Empire Earth.
Yeah.
Empire Earth, dude.
Empire Earth.
So Ghostcrawler has got his hands in that. He helped design a lot of like balances in WoW, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, he was like the lead balance designer, I think.
And now he goes to Riot Games.
Because Paladins hated him because they
Well,
always
yeah.
blamed him for being all nerfed and shit.
Like we have this
Whatever.
fucking, you know,
Whatever.
30% burst, but 30% burst on a damn healer sucks major cock and balls.
I don't know. That game had so many people that had their hands in it that you can't blame just one person.
But he was social.
Well, that was his job, to be social.
Was
Yeah,
it,
it was-
or did he make that his responsibility? Like, in a job, you more or less do your job and add on your responsibilities if you're a good worker, right?
The thing that I'm wondering is, does that open up Riot make an MMO? That's what I wonder.
Yeah,
I still
is
just
there going to be like a...
I mean, it could happen, but I don't know if that's.
Come on, dude. Yordles versus all. Let's go.
Riot Games does not want to just stick with League of Legends.
Yordles versus all, dude. Go.
I'd do it right now. Fuck,
I mean,
give me
like
team-
I said yesterday, they do kind of have the lore for it, you know.
Yeah, they do. The Mace,
have a
the
lot of lore,
Demacia, and
but- Yeah, they got their two factions already set. And then,
dude, how cool would it be to be like Cho'Gath? You just eat people.
Very.
That'd be fucking sweet.
Especially when you're so farmed up, like 40% like a bite.
That dude would be so overpowered. I like to see how they do that. I think next week we're gonna talk a little bit more about WildStar. We're gonna take because that is a game that we actually had an eye on here for a little while. I know maybe in the first show I brought it up a little bit, but WildStar is gaining a little bit of momentum. Definitely want to talk about that. I'm gonna do my best to actually try to find a jet fighting game because I really want to play one now.
Dude, World of Warplanes, I'm telling you.
Oh my god, sounds like.
You never
bullshit.
played World of Tanks?
No.
So, you're a noob.
Tank games are stupid, dude.
No,
Never
not that
enjoyed
one. That
playing
one was
either.
fun.
Huh?
You progress with a fucking tank. You itemize the tank. You
Tanks are too slow. They take too many people to
No,
run
but
them.
you could build it with speed and go boom, 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 or build it slow. Well, I'm a noob at the game, but there's many different.
Might as well go play
Right.
fucking Mech Warrior, dude. I mean, what the hell?
Oh, that game should have been big too. It was actually big, but it's not as big as the fucking huge games. Like 40,000, 100 grand people playing the same game is still big to me.
It was a good idea, Mech Warrior. You know, doing like a reboot of it, but I just the casual gamer is not going to play a game like that. That's going to be like a super specialized group of people.
I don't care about casual gaming.
Anybody can fucking go and fly a jet,
How do you
dude.
not care about casual gaming, dude? You play phone games.
You don't
Dude,
really. You don't.
There
Yeah,
are
dude.
not casual gamers out
You're
there
as
anymore.
casual
People
a
were
gamer.
talking
There
shit
are,
to you
dude.
the other day.
Yeah, you are a casual.
You
gamer.
are as casual a gamer that there is, dude.
I'm not playing the same games as you guys right now because I lack time. But I'm still playing games.
Which makes you casual, dude. You play casually. Like,
I am pretty far
little
up in
amount of time.
Eternity Warriors 3.
Oh my god, you're a noob.
He's,
Get out of here.
he's the fucking.
He's getting offended.
He's the boss at a MOBA
I
game,
probably
dude.
play an hour of that game a day
Really?
on my phone. I bet your battery couldn't hold that.
You play with your wiener more than that, though.
When I was younger, probably. But
Dude. I bet you that thing. He lost feeling in it at one point. God
who's
damn.
your guys' favorite in the LCS this year?
I was actually looking at the recaps here. It looks like there were some people that were playing. It
Do
looks
you
like
think Cloud9's going to be fucking wipe the floor again?
I think SK what is it?
SK Gaming in Europe? I'm
S-
talking North America. I could give a fuck about anyone. I'm more worried
Well,
about...
I think SK is Asia, but I don't think that the Americans have
What?
started yet.
SK was Europe.
Was
They
it?
were. I don't know. You know if the
I was looking at like
Ocelot or something? SK Gaming?
I think you're the only one who keeps up with League of Legends still. Like pro.
Wow. Really? We do a show and we don't even know about the LCS?
what are you talking
You
about,
talk
dude?
like it's like some mandatory thing. Like you have to know about the LCS.
I've actually been playing a lot of League recently, simply because.
Yeah, but you don't like keep up on the pro scene really. Like
Well, I'm
know the
trying
players
to.
or the team.
I'm trying to for the
I
sake
don't
of
know.
like the people who actually care about that stuff.
We just disappointed the 5 listeners we have.
Like Fnatic, dude. I liked watching them play. Like I'll probably watch more
last
of the.
season. I did. Yeah.
Would you watch the streams? Because I thought that was more entertaining than actually playing the actual fucking game, dude. Just watching these guys play.
The pro games. You
Yeah.
mean? Possibly. I mean, I did enjoy watching it.
Dude,
come on,
Josh,
Josh.
you were
We're
glued to
playing
it
five-
for like
five on
hours.
Fun.
Well, that was when I gave a shit and like played the game too. Though I don't even play the game anymore. So
I don't think I've ever seen like professional arena matches or anything like that in World of Warcraft.
Okay,
I have. I've watched BlizzCon like tournaments, but
you two give me shit about playing games. What game should I play right now?
right now,
Hearthstone, World of
get your
Warcraft.
casualness out of here, man. Get out of here.
What's the name of Warlord something? What's the name of that stupid game?
Warface?
You should just go ahead.
Warframe.
Go ahead and play
Warframe.
Bejeweled, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Why
No, I got better
don't you
things.
play
to do.
some more Bejeweled, Chad?
Dude, go match those
I could
gems.
probably think of 100 better things than play Bejeweled.
I guess.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with Bejeweled, man?
What's wrong
I have a
with
lot of books
Bejeweled?
I'd like to read.
Yeah.
Dang, you're such a hardcore gamer.
Is it like a book about tits?
Oh, what the hell is that?
Do you want
Yeah,
to know what I'm reading?
Probably.
Or, dude, don't
Or
give me
politics.
don't give me no
Or
fucking
fucking-
O'Reilly books. I'm not gonna be into that, dude. Not
It's
down
gonna
with
be
that.
politics, religion, or tits.
Glenn Beck or some bullshit like that.
No, you guys are like I talked to you about that because you should be concerned about it.
Or like the
Glenn Beck.
Scientology's view of the Bible or some shit like that.
Well, I read a lot, and so does Josh, so does Isaac, but I read a lot more than you.
I used to
I don't
read.
read- oh,
I used
don't even
to.
know how to read.
I used to read a lot, but not anymore. I think the last book series that I read was like Left Behind series, and the only reason that I liked it is because it was basically a literal It was a story about this dude and his family. It as if the Book of Revelations was like literal. And I thought that was interesting. I just skipped over all the Jesus fucking parts because that shit was. It get on my nerves
it's
after a
so
while.
weird to you. You don't get,
Yeah, no, I mean not the Jesus parts because obviously Jesus is like a big figure in the book, but just the parts where they're like, oh, and then I told him how I was saved, and we wept together. I would just fucking skip that shit, and I'd be like, yeah, dude, and I'd be like, so
When
who,
the fuck do they ever say, I was saved and we wept?
dude? Every 10 pages. I swear to God.
What book are you talking about?
Left Behind? You ever read the series?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I
The religious fictitious
Yeah.
book?
When shit's going crazy and you're clueless about them, and then you come to realize
No, it was, dude, I tell you
this
what.
might actually be true because
story-
my whole fucking world's coming to an end, and I need someone right now.
The story itself was pretty good. But every fucking 10 pages is, and they met some new person, and then they told them how they were saved, and then they cried, and then they prayed, and I was just like, fuck. Like, seriously? How many fucking people...
I get it when it actually happens to you in, like, the next year or so.
I don't know. I don't really...
That's amazing. Once you feel like reflecting...
We'll have...
Talk to Josh or I or no one when all... Never mind.
I think maybe I'll do that next story time.
Yeah.
If something else doesn't like sort of come up as far as a story, because we try to have story time every week. Today was me pissing in a basket of toys. Tomorrow, not tomorrow. Next Thursday, it's probably going to be like my views on God and shit.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
this is
Chad-
totally against the rules.
Chad can't be on that show, or I will not be there.
You know what I'm reading right now? Reading like a writer. I really enjoy this book.
Sweet. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been another awesome hour.
Story.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe religion is not something that we should do.
Oh, you should not do that.
Yeah, we're not going to do it. Never mind. I'll come up with another story. We have plenty of them. Maybe we'll talk about Ava's wedding and how fucked up it was. That sounds like a good idea.
Because we haven't even heard about that yet.
Yeah, well,
He comes on tomorrow night and decides, hey, we're doing the show tomorrow night.
dude, I'll just put it this way. For a lot of reasons, it was the most stressful and worst wedding I've ever been to. So, and that's my sister's wedding.
It was your sister's
Oh,
wedding.
yeah, dude. It was the best wedding you've
Oh
ever
my
been to.
god, it was bad. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys.
It's so odd. How could it be bad?
Shut up, noob. We'll see you noobs later. Peace.
Later.